Hey everyone, here with Wizard, and this is a fairly meta one with the contract, Yogg, etc. But the main difference being we're trying out Frantic coding and Femme Fatale retrieval run. It's kind of a little mini combo within the deck. So we have a CTM deck, which we should be okay for, up against ZacharyXylophone, very strong player. We could let this fire. I think I'm going to just poke HQ and look for agendas. Get a foo, that's good. Closed accounts, yoicks. Nice. So pick up 3 points pretty early. He does get the Sensi to refill his hand. Bottom is agenda. But you get in there early before Sensi fires, you can get rid of, or you can try to snack before they send them away. So the Sensi is here with Virtual Tour is the most likely thing. He's representing it. It could be like a product placement, I guess, or like a Sand as a bluff. Probably not worth running there. This ice could be a lot of things. I'm going to not worry about it. Let's Street Peddler get a Sucker, Contract, Parasite. Okay. I really hate to let that fire, but we're going to let it fire until we get our slums out. Then we can start trashing things. We are attacked for this matchup with the slums, so in case you're not sure how the slums works, this is the first time they trash each turn. The trace triggers, but if you use this, you're not trashing it. You're instead removing from the game, so it's not going to fire. And then afterwards, you trash some more cards on the same turn. They're not the first card each turn anymore, so it just makes the ability not fire at all. So we could face check this ice, but we almost certainly don't go through it. Gonna bite the bullet here. I'm a little worried about our finances if we trash this, but I'm also worried if we don't trash it, bad things will happen to us. There's no way to duck under here, so we're just going to go for it. This is, in fact, the Virtual Tour. Should have done this the other way around. I think I leave that. I almost want to just run contract twice. So we pay 3 and we're going to get 7. This is kind of a weird play, but I think it makes sense because I really want to get some money and stay out of range. And there's currently no ice here. Cobra. Ew. So this is Santa, you might get wrecked. Otherwise, we'll be in good shape. That's amazing. So playing the Cobra, oh, he has 2 ice. So maybe this is not the Cobra. Not exactly eager to slam into any of those. Let's see if he'll pop his Jackson for these 3 cards. Yeah, for sure. This Ice Carver is of dubious usefulness. I bet the Cobra's over here. I really do think that's the case. I think this is some random other thing, like maybe a Data Raven. Oh, maybe they're both Cobras. Hit paperclip, please. Yes. Value Town, population us. Killing this pad is actually super important, which maybe he did put his better ice on the pad. Because it's a money war that you'll end up winning if the corp can't stick drip. If they can stick drip economy, then you just end up getting further behind later in the game. Draw for Parasite. We don't get it. Oh, no. I drew too fast. I think a better line would have been Grimoire, Deja. Because now I'm really afraid he's going to score behind that. Oh, well. Don't think it can be helped. Hopefully this is not a Sansan right now. If he goes to 0, though, we'll get a bunch of sucker tokens. We'll be able to run our contract and R&D. So for him to rip Sansan off the top here is a little bit expensive for him. So that's looking somewhat Sansan-like, isn't it? Let's see if he wants to res here. If that was the Cobra, this is... Okay, that's fine. We'll let our contract be bounced. Still get an access. It's a breaking news. Nice. I think we replay it to archives and run twice, or run once. I almost want a sucker token more than I want $4 right now. Is that true? Let's see if we'll pop Jackson. If not, we gotta trash it. It might be an agenda, right? This could be a food, and the Benny is wondering if he can give it to us safely. I'm thinking he can't because we already have 2 breaking news. Oh no, he's going to show us graphics. I think the play here is deny the Jackson because otherwise he can draw what he needs. Right now, he's just needing clicks to draw, right? He needs to find stuff to put in the board. So denying this click efficiency, pretty valuable. We have enough money for our purses right now. He's going to pop after all. Okay, this was a good outcome. So our long-term goal now is to bring the sucker tokens online. But he did get an ice. Man. Does that ice stop us? I think I'm going to face check that. See if he wants to spend money on archives, which is empty right now. Just deny our contract. If we see Quandary or Enigma, we'll be able to play the Yogg and go next turn, which is pretty good. Let us have it. Well, this is pretty juicy for us. Yeah, he's quite far behind the board here, and he knows it. Our deck is certainly teched against... This deck is pretty well tech for CTM. You have 2 copies of Slums to get them out pretty early. Have a lot of tools to deal with his ice specifically. Paperclips in the bin. We have Vamp. We know we've got all these contracts to exploit the low ice count. Parasites now to exploit further. The Fem beats, Raven, Tollbooth, and even the Archangel is very efficient against that. So we're in good shape for the rest of this matchup. So I like this deck quite a bit. I'm going to play it some more. It's pretty close to a meta one, but I like the ways it does it differ a little bit. Because you have more of a pressure on archives when you're threatening retrieval runs into Fems, retrieval runs into free Yoggs. And the other nice thing is that you're just accelerating with this card the pace of the game where you get gear checked. Like he was saying, like he could check on wraparound. If we didn't have paperclip, we would just get locked out and you could score Breaking News or Astro that way. But when you dump 10 cards in the bin, which is like a quarter of your deck, and you have 2 paperclips, there's a very respectable chance that you just dump paperclip in the bin as a result of playing your Frantic coding, if you didn't dump it already from inject. So we have like 5 cards that can just make sure we don't get gear checked, which was like the old Anarch problem they used to have before inject and the big box came out. They would just not be able to find their breakers, so they didn't have any tutors in faction. This way there's still no tutors, but there's this kind of great mechanic that I love with these 2 cards, where you're going to dump your stuff in the bin and find it that way. I think that's a very Anarch thing to do. It's like Shaper is going to just find their breaker by searching for it. Very neat and clean. Anarch's going to pitch cards in the bin until they find the one they want. Really like that. So this deck kind of speaks to me in a way that the standard one is kind of a little less exciting for me. All right, thanks for watching.